Amber Lee Hughes murdered and sexually assaulted her 4-year-old stepdaughter.
This installment, we're taking a look at the trial of Amber Lee Hughes, who stands accused of the murder and SA of the 4-year-old daughter of her ex-boyfriend, Ellie Challita. Ellie met the preschool teacher when he enrolled his daughter, Nada-Jane Challita, at Bedford View Preschool in 2021, and their romance began when she would send him love notes in his daughter's notebook. He was convinced.
So she was her preschool teacher, and he met the father. She met the father through the little girl.
His daughter couldn't be with anyone safer, as Amber's job centered on looking after children, and she would often help the single father with Nada-Jane when he needed assistance during the course of their relationship. What started out as an idyllic relationship for the single father would soon sour, as it was alleged that when the couple moved in together, the relationship was marked by frequent altercations, with threats being made against Nada-Jane. On 23 January 2023, Ellie was away on a job interview in Polokwane, and it was alleged during this time.
Remember, this is in South Africa.
That Amber sent him a message that read, "You broke my heart. I'm going to burn yours. How could you do that to me?" This raised alarm bells with Ellie, who sent a friend to their home to check on his daughter. The friend arrived to a scene of horror. Nada-Jane was floating in the bathtub. She was taken to the hospital, but it was found that she had already passed away. A post-mortem found signs of SA. Amber alleges that she left Nada-Jane to play in the bathtub and that when she returned, the child had drowned. She does not explain the SA. Amber has been charged with murder and 2 counts of SA.
Oh, was she mad at that child? So she taking out all the anger she got on the father for her, and like maybe he cheated on her, so now she's sexually assaulting that little girl. And oh my God.
She has pled not guilty to all counts. The case is ongoing in the Gauteng High Court.
Oh, shout out to True Crime After Dark. That's crazy. She said, let me see if there's anything. Hold on, let me see if there's anything else concerning her. Day 3 witness, Wisty Hughes. Yeah, I don't see nothing. That's crazy. She sexually assaulted her and just said, "I'm going to burn yours." So she told her herself. Otherwise, she probably, thank God she sent that text message. Otherwise, she might be like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I left her in there by herself, but I didn't mean to do it." Let me see if this says anything more.
"You broke my heart. I'm going to burn yours." This would be the last thing that was allegedly said to the father of Nada-Jane before her life would come to an abrupt end. In the tragic aftermath, kindergarten teacher 25-year-old Amber Hughes would be arrested and charged with 2 counts of and 1 count of murder. This case is a prime example of normality. But beneath the surface, Amber's disturbing jealousy of the little girl continued to grow. It showcased itself in her bickering with the toddler over which ice cream flavors should be bought, or why Ellie was spending more money on his daughter than her. At the end of 2022, Ellie received a new job opportunity in Polokwane. Planning to relocate, he had appointments to view homes in January of the following year. And so on the 23rd of January 2023, he would kiss both his daughter and Amber as they lay sleeping in bed before heading off on the over 250-kilometer trip to Polokwane. At 8 a.m., the trouble allegedly began, with Amber angry that he had left without saying goodbye. Over the next hours, the pair would fight over WhatsApp messages and calls, with Amber accusing Ellie of cheating, amongst other things. At 6,
you can't just leave. Look, if your child not old enough to call you or got a phone or know how to dial your number, you can't just be leaving with somebody you just met.
38 p.m. though, at the end of a spoken conversation, Amber allegedly said words that would forever be etched into Ellie's mind. "You broke my heart. I'm going to burn yours."
Oh, we know that. That was crazy.
And then she had stopped responding to any further messages. And according to Ellie Challita's later testimony in court, Amber had threatened to harm his daughter just 6 months prior. With this knowledge in mind,
so it don't sound like she was like, SAing her every day and hiding it. It sounded like she did it when she killed her, like just to prove a point or take out anger on her.
Panicked, he began racing back to Pretoria, calling a friend along the way to check on his daughter. His friend had even put the phone on speaker so that Ellie could calm his dog down, which would allow the man to enter the property. At that point in time, Amber's father had also arrived. But then communication went silent. Ellie's friend would tell him 50 minutes later that the baby was at the hospital. As it would turn out, inside the home, in the bathroom, in a bathtub full of water, face down, little Nada-Jane would be discovered. Amber had been lying in the vicinity in a t-shirt with her wet skirt on the floor, with allegedly superficial wounds to her wrists. Although the little girl, who was unresponsive and
like she was fighting back probably,
cold, was rushed to hospital, nothing could be done to save her life. Amber would later be arrested at 11 p.m. She would later be charged with 2 counts of and 1 count of her doll. She had then apparently tripped over the dog, fallen onto a glass, and cut her arm. Not wanting to scare Nada-Jane, she had subsequently left to dress her wound, and upon returning, found the little girl face down in the bath. Keep in mind fact that 4-year-old Nada-Jane was already bathing independently at this point in time. For some reason, beyond my understanding at least, she couldn't assist or get the little girl, who only weighed 15 kilograms by the way, out of the bath. And so she had apparently called emergency services and her father. She would also further claim that there's no evidence of the assault of the little girl. The trial is currently ongoing, and on the point I just mentioned, a senior experienced forensic pathologist, Dr. Estelle van Staden, testified that the little girl had both fresh, estimated to have occurred no less than 12 hours before passing, and old injuries, consistent with sexual abuse. From the degree of damage sustained...
So she did do it before. Why? What the fuck was the father? He's leaving that often?
It was apparent to Dr. van Staden that this was as a result of a small, narrow, thin object. The bruises on the little girl's forehead and temple were also consistent with hands pressing onto her skin. Additionally, her brain and other organs were swollen, full of fluid, indicative of a drowning. In a disturbing twist, Dr. van Staden would also testify that the forensic results showcased that little Nada-Jane had been assaulted over a period of time. As I mentioned,
shit, I guess my theory was wrong. Oh, she was sexually assaulted over a period of time. It happened. Look at that poor baby.
Trial is currently ongoing. Amber was set to appear back in court today. However, the trial has been postponed to the 24th of April.
She looks sick. Look, that makeup just was covering it up, but she looks sick. Her eyes sunken in. She looked like she got a mask on.
Due to her having an oral abscess. It has been over 2 years since 4-year-old Nada-Jane passed. 2 years without closure, and 2 years that her family, her mother and father, have had to deal with her loss. As I continue to follow this trial, all I can hope is that justice will be served for herself and for her family. You know the drill. Keep your eyes on my feet, and I'll be sure to keep you.
Hey, shout out to South Africa True Crime. It took them this long to bring her to trial. That's why I'm just hearing about it. So it's still brand new. She's just going to trial on this little girl. I don't know why it takes so long. I don't know why, but I don't know what y'all think, Cave Dwellers. She needs to go. It needs to be a special place in the prison, like a fucking gladiator pit where they put these women and men that hurt children like this, that they're trusted with, sexually assault, SA them and all this. They need to put them in the pits and live stream it so we can see them battle for a drink of water or something. This is crazy. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna keep up with her just like I am with the other trials. If you haven't seen my other video, the other little girl that went like this, I've reacted to Mr. Black, his thing. So I'm gonna put that up here somewhere. You'll see it probably right here. Let me know what y'all think on that one, because that's even more devastating. They lied their ass off that whole time. So let me know what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe. Peace out.